Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I own an independent paper crafting business showcasing products from Stampin' Up! I made this quick and easy coloring card with products from Stampin' Up! I sell these products and also a few items to make crafting more convenient. I have the free detailed directions for this card on my website, and you'll be able to find links for all the products I used. You can just click those links for the products that you'd like to be taken to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see where to find all of that at the end of this video, so don't worry about taking notes. It's time to put stamps, ink, and paper together. I'm using framed occasions, and I'm using the Beautiful Shapes dies. These did not come out together, but they do coordinate. And I'm using this Perfectly Pencil Designer Series paper. This is all in black and white. So you have leaves and florals on one side and then kind of graphic prints on the other side. And this has got florals on both sides. I'm using these two designs, but this one would work beautifully too. And I'm using some of the black and white gingham ribbon. And so my DSP and my ribbon are black and white. I love getting black and white Designer Series paper and the black and white gingham ribbon, and also any of the ribbons that are white. Color very nicely, and I wanted to talk about that. So you can get them to coordinate with any of our colors. My paper is the new In Color Sweet Sorbet. The cardstock is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, typical card base. I have a piece of basic white that is 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. This piece of Designer Series paper is 4 by 4. This piece is 1 by 4. I have a piece of Parakeet Party that is 1 1/4 by 4. I've already cut these two pieces out. We apparently have jets from the naval base that's fairly local doing flybys, practicing their touchdowns, so I'm sorry about the noise. So this die actually cuts the circle and also embosses at the same time. And then I'm using the largest of the smooth circles also. So I cut the Sweet Sorbet out with the swirly one and the basic white with the other one. This piece is 9 inches and this piece is 3 inches. The long one I have cut squared off, and the short one I've cut at an angle. And I'll explain why I did that later. I'm also using the Stamping Blends. These are the Parakeet Party and these are the Sweet Sorbet. I'm also using Tuxedo Black Memento ink and the Sweet Sorbet stamp pad and the Parakeet Party stamp pad. I'm going to start off by doing my stamping. I'm going to stamp the leaves. I'm going to start out by stamping this circle, and I'm using Sweet Sorbet. And if you put your head directly over it, it's pretty easy to stamp right in the middle of that circle. Then I'm going to stamp the outline stamp in the Parakeet Party. And I want to get this in the circle as much as possible. It will go out a little bit. And then I'm going to color in, and so this is really a coloring technique of coloring the solid, but I'm stamping off by stamping on scratch paper. And this is also called second generation stamping, so I'm stamping again without re-inking. and get a lighter color, and that colors in those leaves nicely. And then I'm going to stamp the greeting directly over this. But I am using a nice dark Memento ink. So that shows up nicely. And just, if you would like, you can also stamp that same leaf in the same way. Let's see, where do I want to stamp this? Maybe I'll do this up in the upper right corner. You could really stamp this anywhere. And this leaf, again, stamping off. And you could certainly stamp the envelope too if you'd like. I guess I might as well since I'm talking about it. Here comes the jet again. Hopefully it won't get too loud. So that's one way of coloring, using our stamps themselves. And then I'm going to color this designer series paper. And I'm just using the light of the Sweet Sorbet, and I'm using the large brush tip, and I am really literally scribbling the petals. I'm not even caring about direction or following the exact lines. I just want to get color down here. One of the things that I have found is I think I've got all the flowers colored, and then I go to color the leaves and I realize I have missed flowers. Easy to do, so I'm sure I'll do that again. We'll see. This is really fast. I am not speeding up the video like I sometimes do. I am literally scribbling. Okay, I think I've got all the flowers this time. We'll see. And I'm using the light in the Parakeet Party. I'm not even, I might get the base of the flowers, but I don't have to. You just want to get some color down. I even like dragged my pen across there. It will not matter, it really won't. I see I missed at least one little flower here. Once you get all the color down, it's easier to spot them. And I think, honestly, if you miss a flower, you are probably the only one to notice it once you see it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the inside of my card. And I will go ahead and adhere this to the front of my card. And for this one, oh, I wanted to see if I can even up my score line here a little bit. Okay, so I've got some adhesive. We'll put this on the back, and I want to leave like an 1/8 inch border around. I've got another scrap of that same black and white, and I just want to show you that you can do this with any of these designs, and you really just get the middle. You can also color with the brushes. So let's see, I can just color the whole background, or color the flowers, especially on the dark patterns with the light. You can get some colors like that. Lots of fun coloring. And I wanted to color my ribbon. I'm using the dark Stampin' Blends, and I'm just drawing a line down that white stripe that goes down the middle. And it really fills in the whole ribbon. But if there's some white showing, that's totally fine, and it does go to the other side on this ribbon. Some of the ribbon you might want to color the back too. And I am also coloring that little 3-inch piece. And I have some other scraps that I want to show you that you do not need Stampin' Blends. You can use the Stampin' Rake markers. This sometimes can bleed a little bit more, so if your hands are moist you can pick up some of the color. And you can also just put the ribbon right directly onto the stamp pad. This does use a lot more ink, and I'm probably going to get inky on I will need to clean off my pen. But those are all ways that you can get color on your white or your black and white ribbons. I was thinking about coloring this piece, and you certainly could, but I decided I really didn't like it colored, so I'm leaving it black and white. So I'm just attaching it to the Parakeet Party strip. And then I'm going to put my bow over this. I have a bow maker that I got from my friend Gidget, and she sells these on eBay, and I will have the link to her eBay shop there. You could do the same thing with like maybe a barbecue fork or something. You just need the 2 pegs, but this is nice because you can get different sizes, and the nice round pegs keep your bow formed nicely. I'm going to wrap this around, and whichever side is on top, I'm going to go down underneath, through the posts, and over the top. Now usually I just tie a knot around this. I'm going to put my 3-inch piece inside here, and I just want to catch this with my tweezers to make it easier for myself. Now remember I said that I cut the 3-inch piece at a slant? That's going to help me to know which piece is which, so I want to keep the blunt cut or the squared cut and use that to tie my knot. And then all of this can adjust, so if your slanted ends are not even, that's fine. I'm going to lift this up over the top. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of this piece, put my bow in the center, and wrap my ends around. And I see that my ends are pretty short, so I'm going to change the directions to say 10 inches instead of 9. If I had made a smaller bow, perhaps 9 would have been enough. And I do want to get plenty of adhesive, especially on those little short ends of ribbon. And I'm going to put this over the square of Designer Series paper, overlapping it just a tiny bit. Putting my embossed circle, and I'm going to use dimensionals. Now I am using 2 layers of dimensionals on this card. That might mean it's extra postage, so if you want to save yourself some postage, eliminate one of these layers. Putting my greeting on, and put that in the center, and that's it. I have a pretty little card with a matching envelope. Here is the web address for this project, where you'll find the free directions and links for the products I used. You can click individual products or the Add All to the cart. You will be able to remove products you don't need or add more products. I have lots of resources on my website. Most of them are free. It's easy to miss some of those resources or to get lost exploring. Let me take you on a quick tour. Just under the banner image are 6 links. Under Shop, you'll find links to the products from Bev, shopping strategies, my frequent shopping points, and a sampling from the clearance rack. Under Inspiration, you can link to scroll all of my projects since 2011. The products may be retired, but you may be inspired by a layout, color combination, or a technique. I have the basics, where I've written about stamps, ink and paper, cutting, adhesives, and my favorite tools. You'll find a link to Techie Tips and an easy link back to my latest post. Click on Getting Organized, and you'll find some of my resources for stamp case slips, product labels, large labels for designer series paper, and more. Case inserts for dies, embellishments, and anything I think might fit in a stamp case, including ink refills. You'll also find color tools and charts, a practically free stamp pad storage solution, tabs and a quick reference for the annual catalog, and plans for toolkits. I have a video of my craft wall and more. Click on Evernote Current Products and you can learn how to share my notebook. This notebook has a note for every current product from Stampin' Up! It allows you to search by color, image, product type, word, phrase, or event, and more. I include French, German, and Dutch names and numbers when available, and the prices for all the markets. Evernote synchronizes on your phone, tablet, and or your desktop or laptop computer, so you can look through the Stampin' Up! Catalog from anywhere, anytime. You can copy my notes for the products you own so you can find just what you're looking for. When products retire, I move them to the Retired Products Notebook, which I also share, and I host a notebook for Paper Pumpkin. Click on Sip Together and then Let's Stamp to come stamp with me or join my Sip Together team. There's also a link to learn a bit about me. The sitemap will help you navigate all these links from one page. And there are quick links along the side of my page. Shop Now takes you to my online store at Stampin' Up! You'll see the current host code. It would be a great help to me if you use that if you are ordering less than $150. You can click on the current catalogs to page through them online. And then there are my links to my 5 most recent posts. Thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you soon.